Hey everybody, Joe here, back in the saddle. Little hiatus, and got Battle Rankings Live. I am here with my lovely and talented producer. Say hi, Ann.
Hi, Ann.
Yep, and actually, we're going to start off the season a little bit differently here as people come on into the live stream. I want to let you know one thing as the music is playing, that it is a special birthday. Happy birthday, Ann.
Oh, no.
Ready? Come on, Ray. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ann. Happy birthday to you. Now, you guys know why Ann's the one that sings. But, you know, if Ann could tell me before this, because this was a surprise, right, Ann?
Yes, it was. That
if instead of sending flowers and cards, what you can do is you can buy her book. Okay? So it's in hardback. Isn't it paperback yet?
It's hardback and paperback, yes.
Hardback, paperback,
and
audio
Kindle.
Book. And Kindle, audiobook.
Audiobook's coming.
All right.
It should be up there, but
it's the Warrior of Kazan, book 1. That I always have a hard time saying.
Nephilim Corruption.
Nephilim Corruption. So book 1's out. Book 2 is coming as soon as Ann gets motivated to put the final edits in, which we were discussing over dinner. But anyway, want to do that. But anyway, so happy birthday, Ann. Well, anyway, we have a special guest, and I want to bring him right on in. John. Hi, John.
Hello.
Hey, John. For those who, I've known you for a while, but for those who don't know, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about yourself.
Sorry about that. I'm in my apartment at the moment.
Right. I know you don't have a palatial studio like we do.
No,
really.
And I'm the global general manager for Battlefront. I always joke that means I sort of manage generally. What I do is run the UK office, not the New Zealand office, the American office primarily. I liaise with the Kuala Lumpur factory and obviously talk closely with Pete in the studio in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. And John, you and I, we work on the North America tournament scene. So
yes, tournaments and events, absolutely.
Yep. So I do tournaments. John's one of my pretty much my main contact, and then between John and I, we get things done for the tournament stuff. So thank you, dear John. Speaking of which, I think we'll probably just get into it, and some of the major events going on besides Ann's birthday.
It's a major award.
It's a major event. By the way, it's a really nice looking cake that I lifted off the internet. But
did you make that yourself, Joe?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
you're missing a comma.
Am I missing what? Happy birthday! Oh, comma Ann.
Yeah.
Well, she is the. Anyway, yeah, she's the writer. I am not. I'm in computers. So John, let's. I think right off the bat, let's talk about Historicon.
Absolutely.
So, Historicon is coming up in November. They moved it from July to November. Now, of course, Battlefront, you're going to be there with a booth, right?
Yes, this is the first show that we feel comfortable to put our toe back in the the sort of waters with COVID and everything like that. Obviously, we're going to follow any restrictions that they have and that sort of stuff. Is we want it to be safe. We will always put the caveat on that if something happens, lockdowns, that sort of thing that can't be helped, there is always a chance that it might not go forward. But at the moment, it's looking pretty good. So yes, we will have a normal selling booth in the hall. But for me, more importantly, this is where we will sort of endeavor to get back and have some events being run, primarily a nationals as well, which obviously I think we may have managed one in 2020 right at the beginning, but I could be wrong because I was actually in the UK at that time.
It was Las Vegas Open was the only one.
Yeah, and because I remember Adepticon was cancelled, which was the next one coming up, if I remember rightly.
Which was it was
April?
Adepticon.
Yeah.
So, matter of fact, you know what it was? Las Vegas Open was right at the beginning of COVID. It wasn't really out yet, and it was the beginning of Chinese New Year. So all of us are in, what people are celebrating Chinese New Year in Vegas. We're in Vegas. Yeah, that was, matter of fact, when I came back from Vegas, I was pretty darn sick.
All right.
Yeah. So
was this through drinking too much, or did you actually have the COVID?
Well, I didn't know what it was because that was like in February, and then it was all breaking in March. Yeah. So I could have, or I could have just got the normal flu. Who knows? But no, now people probably would say, well, why didn't you just get the test yet? Or the thing was, there was no test yet.
There was nothing yet.
There was nothing yet. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm gonna probably more flu. I don't know. Anyway, I'm still on this God's green earth. So, but hey, let's look at Historicon. So coming up on the Thursday, on the 11th, looking at Team Yankee. 110, 3 rounds.
3 rounds, yeah.
All right. So get a little Team Yankee in there. Yep,
and this is one to make up for, obviously, the tournament objectives, I think, are quite sought after. So actually, everybody going for the Team Yankee 3 round, they will also get the 2020 objective just as a thank you for turning up type thing.
No, very good. Yeah, you guys were nice enough to send those up for Team Yankee Masters, and I doled those out.
I thought you were going to say you kept them all for yourself.
No, I gave them all out. Had explained it to them. It was the VW Microbus from Back to the Future with the Libyan terrorists.
That's right. Yeah, and it goes with the DeLorean one of the previous year. And that's why it was a nice little thing. And then obviously COVID ruined that for it.
Yeah.
So we don't just want it to go into a hiatus. So we're going to use it in other places there to, again, because it very much is just that's our way of saying thank you for turning up to these events and, supporting the hobby type thing.
And the John here, I thought it was the bus from the movie Stripes. No, that was another.
It wasn't a mic. Actually, that in Stripes, it was an RV.
It was an RV. Yeah, right. They've done that one already. So there is a tournament objective with the urban stealth vehicle.
Yep. Right.
And the urban assault vehicle. That's
urban assault vehicle.
Yeah, sorry.
It was either 2018 or 19. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I have got them all in my office that I could sorted out. But again, it's not one of those things that I bore over every day.
Yeah. Sorry, it is the Urban Assault Vehicle. Now, by the way, when Ann and I started dating, I had a piece of junk car, and I worked at a factory. You know, I had an IT job at a factory that was in the middle, very urban, and it was such a piece of junk, no one would touch it. So I could work there all night. No one in the neighborhood would. So I called it the Urban Stealth Vehicle because no one messed with it. Anyway, so we got the Team Inky going on, 110. You know what? I might have to go and play because you know how you guys were kind enough to send me an extra objective. I actually gave it away to the best painted in the side tournament. So I threw it as a prize support to the side tournament. I'm like, oh, you know, because everyone from the side tournament traveled. So I felt like I gave them something. Yeah.
Well, we'll make sure we miss you out, even if you do play, just to rub salt in the wound.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Joe. We ran out.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Damn Limbians. Anyway. So let's go on. You kind of hinted at it. On the 12th and 13th, Late War Nationals.
Yep.
100 points, 6 rounds.
And, you know, again, we'll follow all COVID restrictions, everything like that. But this one, I am really hoping it'll be a sense of normality with a nice sized tournament celebrating late war sort of thing. And obviously the Nationals objective for that one as well. But yeah, this is one I'm not quite sure where they're going to cap us at. And I have to apologize for this, I think everybody is feeling their way. So, you know, we would say let me go back. They might say to us, well, how many people do you want? And we will say to them, you know, well, how many people can we have? And so I'm looking at the moment 48, but I'm sure that they're going to give us more space because there are definitely people running events who won't go quite yet. So it would be nice if we could get up in the 60s or 70s, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, John, because I was helping Battlefront Rob fill out the paperwork for Historicon. Yeah, we asked for 60.
Good, even better. See, he's already one step ahead of me. I told you I manage generally.
Well, you know, if we ask for 60, maybe we'll get 48. You know, or they'll spread us out and they so you can have more. Also, I made sure that it had easy access to a loading dock.
Yes, which is always good. Yeah.
Yes. So, but hopefully we'll get 60. We'll see what they come up with because the paperwork is submitted. They're trying to figure out how to accommodate, and I'm planning to be there, so that's cool. Historicon, which is I think it starts that Wednesday going through Sunday, something like that. But the days are there really matter. Yeah, are the Thursday
day, and then it finishes halfway through Sunday.
Yeah. So November, just want to make sure November 11th is a Thursday. And so Thursday is the Team Yankee, and then Friday and Saturday are the Late War Nationals, 100 points. So there you go. That was another thing John and I were talking about. We wanted to get the word out because if you want 60 people, well, they have to know that it exists and it's there, and things are going to be, taken care of. By the way, one of the good things is being the size of the boards and if you stretch things out, you get a nice social distancing just by the with the game, or you tend to lean towards it versus you have a whole bunch of people playing Magic where they're like they're shoulder to shoulder or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to Historicon. Of course, like you said, John mentioned that it would be it's the first time you guys are going to have a booth out. So,
Yeah.
Oh no, actually, it'd be the first time you have a Flames of War devoted
Yes.
booth.
Yes, it's one of those things with GenCon coming up. We obviously the other part of our business is games and D&D and licensed products and this sort of stuff, and that's a different convention from Historicon. But yes, we're going to GenCon, and that's the middle of September, isn't it? 15th, 16th, somewhere around there. I think it finishes on the 19th.
Which one?
So,
Person. Okay, cool.
and I think you guys are there as well, aren't you? You're running an event at GenCon.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, with GenCon, Able Company, we've been running stuff there for 9 years, maybe 10. Yeah. It's as Able Company, but we've been running tournaments just a little bit less. We ran a demo game, I think, the first year, and we've been running stuff there. And we always do it. We do a tournament on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So 3 one-day tournaments. And okay, Chris Fretz let me know we've been there 11 years. Boy, time flies. And this is the 10th year of doing tournaments. And look at us. Not too bad. They actually have 10 years of doing tournaments. The main thing about that is this year we're doing Mid-War on Thursday, Team Yankee on Friday, and Late War on Saturday. And we made it very easy for everybody. It's 100, 100, 100. So, and that seemed to be a good meaty place for an army if someone wanted to bring an army. Chris says and that's over 700 players over the years. Chris Fretz has been taking stats. So unfortunately this year we won't be in the on the football field like we have in the past. I'm actually kind of interested to see where they put us this year. But anyway, there you go, GenCon. By the way, GenCon did just announce I think yesterday they're going to do masks throughout the
mask mandate on that.
Yeah, mask mandate.
Even if you're vaccinated?
Even if you're vaxxed. By the way,
we've asked Libby to get us some artwork, so we're going to try and get a nice iconic mask for us. I don't know what it is yet, but we've definitely pitched some weird ideas to her. Whether we can pull it off, who knows?
Well, aren't you? Okay, we're going off topic here. Hey, are you guys are releasing Dune, right?
I was going to say Fremen masks, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Some Dune mask or some for the sand or something like that, or I don't know. You have to look at the new series. Which, by the way, good timing. There's a new series coming out.
A new movie, you mean?
Is it a movie? I thought it was a series.
No, it's a movie.
Well, there's both. There's the movies first, and then there's the and I've forgotten their name. The Ladies of Dune series, which looks very, very good.
Oh, okay.
Is it the witches?
Yeah, I guess so. Then.
All right.
Is it Jesuit?
Oh, Freeman?
Bene Gesserit.
That's it. That's them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like Dune.
So
they're pretty freaky ladies. So.
Yeah. So anyway, so you got that. Now, one of the someone just typed it in there, so you have that delay. They probably spelled it right. Yeah, John Meyer, you nowhere near the other Robert's spelling, but speaking of GenCon,
Robert's got it right.
Robert has it right.
Yeah, Robert has it.
Oh, I bet he's a devout reader of Dune. You know.
Yeah, that's what my book is compared to.
Yeah. Speaking of books, remember
Stop. Well, they call it Dune meets Star Wars. My book. So
Dune meets Star Wars.
that's what my publisher called it. Yeah.
Okay. Did it actually say it on the back? I think it does. Anyway, but besides the point, the he said they just guessed phonetically.
Well, it's close.
So, John, there are some vendors who are not coming to GenCon this year. They chose not to come. I do know some people that who are going, who are representing. But I think because of that, you got a pretty choice location this year in the dealer's hall.
Yeah, we literally are at the front doors. You know, as you come in on that wave right in, we are in row 01. 701 is our booth, and you know, as you walk straight in the door, we are right there.
You're moving up in the world.
Yeah, don't run past us.
Yeah.
You guys have a pretty big booth, though, too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good size. I mean, it's no.
The only sad thing is there's going to be less demo gaming going on. That's very limited. But you know, that's not the end of the world. In the biggest thing is at least we're able to go back and see everybody, and you know, bring the products to the people that want them.
Right. Yeah, because there's going to be people who want to play games. You know, if they're going to stay home, they might as well play a board game with their loved ones, right?
And I mean, we'll have the new version of Doctor Who will be there, with Jodie Whittaker's character as the main front and center. We've got the Dune, and I'm not allowed to call it the movie version, so I haven't, even though we all know I just did. That'll be there. Dune Betrayal, which is another one of games, will be launched right there. So there are some pretty major licenses that we will have at that show. And again, another reason why we didn't want to miss it.
So with that, okay. We got a little sidetracked, but that's okay because it's all related. You know, we got Historicon, we got GenCon.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that was happening is that historically, Masters happens the week right before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Which just happens to be it would be the week right after Historicon. So John and I had a meeting, a little discussion, and said that putting the two next to each other is just not good business.
Too much a strain on the gamers, as you know, hobbyists as well. Is double weekend away, everything they're planning. It just didn't make sense, did it?
No, it didn't. So we got together, put our heads together, and came up with a plan. So this is what the plan is for Masters. So it's going to happen the weekend of October 23rd through the 24th, which is the week before Halloween. So that's the day. So we picked the day, and then the thing was, could we find a venue that could host Masters? And we came up with a short list, and I'm basically going to say the team at Battlefront picked the location. So I came up with the short list. They picked the location. So that's my what do you want to call it? My alibi. The location is going to be Family Time Games in Indianapolis, Indiana. So they could host it in a short notice. And the tournament organizer is going to be announced. So we're looking for someone who can fulfill that role, since I would like to play. And I have taken on the tournament organizer for Team Yankee.
Yeah.
So if I want to have some fun now and then, and so if
I think, especially with the Masters, then it would be nice if we could do that, because that allows every one of the games to have the opportunity to play, rather than a TO going, well, I played enough to get in there, but I'm not going to play because I'm running it. So the only tricky bit there is Dave Griffin, who used to run it very well, he's gone off to do some sort of university thing. He did tell me what the course was, and I do apologize. I forgot.
Horticulture.
Is it? Is that what it is? Oh,
yes.
That's not what you told me. I thought it was something else, herbal medicine or something, but maybe I misheard.
But it's still plants.
Yeah. Oh, Chris, my wife is telling me, no, it's his wife. And it's like, I do apologize, Dave. So you're going through with there is what we've just got to do is make sure that we've got the competency to be able to run it, so the guys get a good experience. Because I'm sure most people know, but I'm just going to go over it again, is we try to mess around with people's heads at that game, the Masters. There's always a little twist. It's not just bring an army, fight 6 games. Is you do a lot of that through there. We try to challenge, mess up, tweak. These are the top winning players of the season. They should be able to handle a little bit more than just armies. But you've got to be very careful. One of them is swap armies, and you go, nope, people do not like that. They do not like going where suddenly you go, what do you mean I'm going to a tournament and I only play with my army once and I play with other people's 5s? Not a good idea. I tried it once. It goes down like a wet balloon.
Yeah.
So I guarantee I won't do that. But again, we've just got to figure it out. And again, this is one where actually I can't lean on your expertise, because you're one of the players. I can't have it where you're, not that you would influence it in a way that means that you would win, but I don't want it to be seen like that either. Is we normally mull this over ourselves and go, surprise, and hope it works.
Yeah. No, it's So the thing is, by the way, we just to let you inside. So John and I had a big, not one big discussion, but a chain going back and forth. And with Flames Award Masters, there's a lot of people who do want to host it. And some of them are newer stores and that kind of stuff. And we're thinking, definitely if they're going the way they're going next year, we have a whole host of stores in good locations that want to run games. And we're like, okay, I think that'd be perfect. And we thought about if we could do it this year, but because we have to move it up a month, we wanted to go with a sure place to secure it. Plus, the other thing too is I did a map of everyone who was in the top 18, and then like the top 24, and the Canadian, and everyone was within around Indiana, which was pretty much even for a lot of people. So that was one of the things that we did this year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the West Coast kind of got freezed out because of their lockdown restrictions. Yes. So what we're hoping for is that next year, the West Coast will be more. I know they're going to be more active because they're starting to do it now. West Coast will be more active. Maybe we'll get. I know there's a couple other stores in like Utah That's they're starting to do stuff. There's some other stores in Texas that are starting to do stuff. So we'll get to a more normal.
Isn't it like Ohio, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, well, yeah, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Kentucky, Minneapolis. They're always busy. They're always doing something. Now we got a store in Virginia that's starting to hop up. I see a store.
Alabama, no.
Alabama is starting to be hot. Maryland, I just saw come online. So there's all this going on. So hopefully next year we'll have a full choice of stores. And then the thing is that the person that should be TOing, the person that should be TOing should be local, because why would you go pay for a hotel room to watch other people play?
Yep.
Right?
There's something like that. It is the spectator sport of fishing or whatever.
Yeah. So, right. So we talked about that, having a local person that is more incapable of doing it, because the thing is, whoever's the TO comes up with the format.
Yes.
So the format, because of the crunch time, Aaron, it turns out you're the farthest person, though Minneapolis is pretty close too. The format is also going to be announced, but it's going to be announced ahead of time. So we plan to announce it on the 20th, September 20th, so that if there's no big tournaments that are coming up that's going to upset the apple cart too much. So like the people in the top like 10, probably pretty much solid. You're going to be going. The bottom half or underneath there might be some movement based on a couple tournaments. But by the 20th, you should have a pretty good idea. I think there's one tournament left, and that's Huracan. So this is a good way to pump up the numbers for Huracan. So if you want to go get a tournament in that you could try to get in and you're on the edge, book for Huracan now. Help those guys out. You got to pump up those numbers, guys. And so by the 20th, you should have a good idea. And the format will be announced then. And then what we're going to do is the invite date. I'm going to turn around real quick because it's in the middle of the week. The invite we're going to do on the 1st. And we want to get the RSVPs by the 5th so that we can get the shirt orders in. But, John, you have some information about the shirt company.
Yes, just a little bit. Is sadly the company Off-World Design, who we used in the past, they haven't survived COVID. So the uncle, who I think was nearing retirement anyway, has decided to retire. They were looking for a buyer, but we haven't heard that they've succeeded in that at the moment. So we are looking for alternatives. And what we want is to keep to the quality that we were doing. As anybody who's seen a Masters shirt, they aren't, rags. They are nice shirts that will stand for the test of time, which is what we want for them. And we don't want to take a step backwards there. So we've definitely got to find someone. And that's proving a little bit trickier. So if anybody's got a really good shirt company that they know of, please drop Joe or me a line and, suggest them. We're only too happy to find someone.
Yeah.
If I could also just point out, Family Time Games has run the Masters before and they do a great job. But just because we've chosen them again doesn't mean anything against other venues that we've had before either. They're all great. So, a special thank you out to Hard Knocks Games, for example. They've done a great job as well. And it really did come down to the two of them this time and just I suppose really for my convenience, I went with Family Time Games, but it's no insult to Hard Knocks Games at all. And I'm sure that we will do something with them again in the future.
Oh yeah, no, both good stores, both know how to throw a tournament.
Absolutely, yeah.
The see how it says how many shirts are you needing, Joe? We just have several here. Actually, is that a question of how many master shirts do I have? Yeah. Or is it a question of there's 18 players.
18 players and one
and the
for
TO. Yep. So we get something little for the TO. So there's some Love Hard Knocks. It's good. Yeah, when we were picking it, we just went with someone that we already knew, but I personally want it to move around. And I know John and guys want to reward stores that are promoting the hobby. So we're on board. I like traveling around the country and seeing other stores and what people do and what they have and stuff like that. So this should be exciting. Looking forward to especially some of these new stores I haven't had a chance to go to yet, that are going like gangbusters, because there's a bunch of them that are pretty much running something every month now. Yeah. Yes, Charlie. One Team Yankee Master shirt is still missing.
Yes, I know. Joe was straight onto there, and again, it's one of those sad bits where I will definitely get it done. The problem is that Offworld can't. For you, so I do apologize. There, I do forget though. What was the thing? Is it just the wrong size we got or something?
I think I might have fat fingered a size somewhere. Yeah, and we. So
that Charlie, that was code for it was all Joe's fault. I am totally not to blame. I'm sticking to that and go from there.
You know what, John? I have broad shoulders. I take full responsibility. I think it was something I did because I was going through my emails and stuff, and I think it was something I did, and it wasn't. And I know exactly where I made the mistake, and I was trying to be careful too. But it happens.
These things happen. We'll get it sorted, though. I promise.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the shirt that we do have is a medium, and I don't think Charlie fits in a medium anymore.
Only just out, though.
Yeah.
He'd just lose a couple of pounds. He'd be back in fighting weight. He'd be fine.
Yeah.
Like the rest.
But that's the schedule for Masters, so it's pretty aggressive because before you know it, October will be here. There we got that going. So be interesting to see who we work out as the tournament organizer and what kind of format they get. So I'm interested just as everyone else to see what that's going to be like. So and then speaking of next season, want to go to the next item. Lister is going to be due by the 15th. So that there's the last bit there. And then I have one more thing here. Toys for Tots. Toys for Tots. So kind of the same thing. When it's going to be, by the way, I'm going to be pounding this all through September. So I'll be talking about this every episode, trying to pump, because we want to pump up the numbers on this, guys, because it's for the children. So basically, it's from November 5th to 12th. We pretty much mimic the collection period for Toys for Tots, which is, a little background. If you don't know about it, it's the United States Marine Reserves collects toys and then gives them to needy children. Needy children? I guess all children are needy, but children that have, maybe not as much or opportunities or something like that as others, and the Marines, hand those out. Basically, they're acting like Santa's little elves, and we're pretty much this mimics the time for collection, the 5th through the 12th. Why we don't go any later is because A, we're getting closer to Christmas, and B, they do have to package them up, organize them, and then get them to the children in a timely manner, so before Christmas. The location, hey, that's your local game store. The tournament organizer, maybe it's you. Find someone and that can organize that. So get someone at your store. And the format, it's a Battlefront game. Let me see if I can name them all off the top of my head. Well, Flames of War, Team Yankee, and the Israeli-Arab War.
Yeah.
The Vietnam, and the World of Tanks.
Yes.
Did I hit them all?
Yep. Well, Great War as well.
Which one? Oh, Great War.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the real thing with this is it can be anything you want. One of the funnest ones that we did years ago is where you just had everybody mass battle with objectives in the middle of the game, and the objectives were silly. Like you get a coin and that would give you +1 armor. There were some ridiculous ones, which was if you could neck a 40 in one go, you got an extra round of shooting. But if you didn't and you failed, you took a breath or something like that, then the person who then beat you and got it would only have to drink half of it, and then they got the shooting. Anything you want to do counts. Just there, because it's actually all about, as you said, bringing the toys in. If you lot all just want to turn up and eat pizza and talk about Flames of War, you're still in. It's about as long as you give those toys and make that successful, that's what we want. Now, obviously, I'd prefer you to have games and that sort of stuff because it makes it all worthwhile. But it really is, to be cheesy, about the children. Get those events going and get piles of toys to come in because it's the right thing to do. And there endeth my preach.
No, it's good. I couldn't say any better because it is about the children. Yeah, I know. I say it to be cheesy. You put the disclaimer on, but it is. And I know as myself and Fable Company, we've been doing it for a long time. Yeah. That 9-10 years. So and you guys help. So it'd be our 4th year. As a national campaign, even though, hey, by the way, we're not affiliated with Toys for Tots. We don't have the right to use their logo or name. But the thing is I don't give a damn. They're going to get our toys anyway. Yes. So, we can't use it in commercials and that kind of stuff. Like if we're doing Toys for Tots.
Neither of us do. It's literally just about we will give you the toys, and it's an excuse again to go somewhere and have games. Now, and again, those games could actually be go to your basement and get 2 or 3 of you together and play some games that way. We're not picky on this one. We just want you to have a good time and bring toys in type thing. The more the merrier is my thing. I'm very grateful that you came to us. As I say, I thought it was 5 years ago, but 4's absolutely sounds about right as well. And I can't explain enough how much I think this one is worthwhile doing.
It is. Because I'll tell you, when the guys bring the toys and we, because we take pictures of them and we bring a lot and I know how to pump up those numbers and get those toys. And when I take them in and they just see my SUV just loaded to the gills. With the seat folded down, it's just full of toys. They're like, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And so, are Marines going to turn down toys? No, they don't turn down toys. But John, I don't know if you know this, but one of the things they don't distribute is anything that looks like a firearm.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so as they're sorting it, all of a sudden there's a couple
Even Nerf guns.
Nerf gun. They'll take Nerf guns. Guess who gets to play with the Nerf guns? The Marines.
Yeah, I was going to say it's either the Marines or you and Anne.
Yeah,
it was one of those. True.
Oh no, I sent it in because I had a Marine that was a sysadmin for me for a bunch of years, and he would volunteer and he would tell me, he says, yeah, there's the Nerf guns. We sort them out, and all of a sudden when breaks and stuff, we break them out and start. So I'm like, well, I know the Nerf gun's going to be good put to use. So
yeah, no, that's
good. The crayons will go missing. So Jonathan Meyer says crayons will go missing. Is that a comment about the Marines? Who I know Jonathan was a Marine.
Perhaps he's got inside knowledge there. Then
yeah. But that's it for Toys for Tots, and I'm going to be doing a big push when it comes to that. And Battlefront is, we're partnering together. I'm pushing it, they're supporting it, and we're going to make that happen. So start working on your game store and your buddies, and try to get something to go in at your local game store. And by the way, even if you have multiple stores in an area, you happen to be a lucky person that has a couple, 2 or 3 stores, try to get an event in each store.
Yeah.
And then just work it out. You have a lot of weekends there to work that stuff out, and you have a lot of time to plan. So a little bit of planning can have a whole bunch of fun. So there's that. Joe, let's see here. I want to. Oh yeah. Oops. One more thing. Yeah, the prize drawing will be scheduled for. We'll have it live here. John, you're coming back on the 15th.
Good.
So we'll do that. All right. So that is that's the stuff I had to present. Let's talk about trying to go in a little bit more in the future. I know that Las Vegas Open and Adepticon.
Las Vegas Open. We are working with Chad, who used to work for us and now runs a store out on the West Coast. He's volunteered to run the Las Vegas Open, and I'm not sure if it's been confirmed mid-war or late war yet, but that will be news coming. But yep, we will be running there. And Adepticon is... Yeah, can't wait to get back to Adepticon. I've always enjoyed Adepticon, so we will there. We will go as long as it's open, and again, that will be I think we call that one the Midwest Nationals, don't we?
Yeah, I think the end of January's Las Vegas Open, and somewhere in February is. Before March. It's usually like a week before Easter is
Adepticon.
Yeah. Right? So it's somewhere around there. We'll get there, Austin. So yes, so the plans are so they already have a person, Chad, who's going to be running the Las Vegas Open, and Adepticon is starting to line itself up. So now we're talking about looking towards the future, because we pretty much worked ourselves out until December. Now we're looking at the future. So things are planning. I know the number of tournaments are starting to go up, which I have a I have a thing that I'll be going over when we're done here about tournaments, and the question is there a plan for each nationals as far as late war, mid war, things like that? And that's the thing we're lining up. I guess it would make sense: late war, mid war, late war, mid war, late war, something like that. But
yes. I mean, generally the answer is yes. We have tried in the past to do late war, mid war, early war, and Team Yankee. We might not be able to get back to that, next year, but definitely mid war and late war. Yep, absolutely, we will be doing that. And what we do is we rotate where they are. So 1 year it'll be Adepticon, Las Vegas Open, Historicon, and then it sort of goes around. So we try to support the hobby that way.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is why there's some cross-pollination. There's people that will travel to all of them,
yes.
But that's actually the exception. The thing is, like, Las Vegas is going to pull more West Coast people.
Yes.
And who probably didn't have a chance to go to Historicon. So, you got to look at attendance and who gets pulled and that kind of stuff to give everyone their flavor of. I guess what I'm thinking about it, if you have two late wars back to back, maybe thinking about changing the points. Just to throw that out there. Keeping it fresh for the guys.
Well, it is interesting. A little bit of a tangent there is because lots of times there is always questioning on points, and you and I have talked about this many times because it's not rocket surgery, and I know what I did there. It's very, very simple. What I try to do with the points is just change it up. There isn't ever an ulterior motive other than, well, we don't want it to be samey. People will build their army and they'll go, oh, it's min-maxed to 105 points. And go, okay, so I'm going to throw you a curveball with, it's 112 now. What? And I guarantee the points that I pick, somebody will think that it is for a specific army. That is never the truth. As Joe will attest, I don't know Flames of War well enough to be that cheesy. I literally randomly pick numbers, and I mean, I did it to Joe the first or second time we did this. It was like, so Joe, how many points would you like it to be? And he went, I'm going to make up a number, 107. I went, you just decided it, but it's your fault now.
Yes.
And of course, you just look at it and go, it's only for a year. And if you're a TO and you don't like the points that we've chosen, make up your own. We're not going to come with a little blue flashing light and go, oh, naughty boy. You're running an event. You can make it 400 points if you want. I guarantee you won't be getting more than one round a day. That's the only one that I would always be cautious of, is when you go for the points, think of how many multiple games you're trying to do in a day and are you giving enough time. So if you come up with 150, 160 points, you're not going to have such a great tournament because you need 3.5, 4 hours sometimes with games like that. And how can you put in 3-4 games a day like that? You just can't. So, think to the points levels, but you're more than welcome to change them up and do the points levels that you want. Is the ones that we will set, like, the nationals, we've said it's going to be 100 this time. And, next year, I guarantee it won't be 100. We'll change it. It might be 98. It could be 107. Who knows? It all depends on what Joe tells me.
By the way, we kind of touched this, but this is more, John wants to know, this is for you, John, which cons next year will Battlefront actually have a president at? So we kind of hinted at it, but you want to go through what you do know?
Next year, I mean, if let's just hope that we're back to normal. What we would be at is Adepticon, Fallen, Historicon, GenCon, Origins, some of the PAX unplugs, you know, the PAX ones down in San Antonio, Philadelphia, Boston, New York, and there is one in Seattle, but we've never quite managed to get to that one yet. And then some others, it all depends on the dates that they fall at. So Little Wars, for example, that's one that's always, it depends on where it is in conjunction with Adepticon. So as many as we can manage sensibly, is it takes a lot of time, and as I'm sure most people are aware, is we're actually quite a small office. We only have 12 employees. So if I have to take 4 or 5 of them, that's a big use of my workforce into doing things. So we just have to manage it carefully and go from there. So, but those ones I've listed, I'd like to be at again if we could possibly. And of course, they don't all have a Flames of War presence, but the shows like Adepticon, Fallen, Historicon, they do.
Right. So there you go. Yeah. So we're definitely you're definitely planning just kind of GenCon.
Yep.
Historicon.
Yep.
Then what else this year? This fiscal year? Sorry, not fiscal. Look at me. This calendar year.
Yes, this calendar year only Historicon and GenCon.
Okay.
Next year is the one where we'll start kicking off and going there. Now, I will say that I consider the LVO to be us because we work so closely with Chad as well. However, we won't be there with a selling booth, but I still might be able to get one member of staff out to help him if he needs it, that sort of thing. But I mean, Chad knows what he's doing. He did a good job for us. It's only because of COVID that, you know, things happened the way and he moved on again. And I'm glad that he's now running a store as well because he enjoys that. But if anything, he is, you know, I would say, yep, that's one we're attending because of the closeness that we work with him on.
Yeah. No, he does a fine job. And matter of fact, I've seen pictures of his store. I read it was like a woman's clothing store or something like that. So and it has it has 2 levels and it has a full glass. It's 2 stories, full glass front up of 2 stories. It looks inviting. So that's kind of the upcoming schedule. So we covered Las Vegas and Adepticon, and I think going out any farther than that's kind of, we'll have to see what's going on. But I already see some questions coming across here. So let's talk about Battlefront and the Malaysia factory. Maybe you can go ahead and talk about that, and then set the record. Well, not set the record straight, but just pretty much tell people what's going on with that. And it's
absolutely, yeah, no problem at all with that. First thing I'm going to start with is a caveat that whenever you write something down and make an announcement, you can never be sure how someone will read it. So there are definitely people at the moment who have got a little worried over it. We've tried to be as transparent as we possibly could. And this is why I like coming on here and just clarifying it a little bit, this is what is happening. At the moment, Malaysia is under a strict lockdown. That is personal and work related. They obviously still have essential businesses, but what they're noticing is that those essential businesses, and this is the weirdness, aren't supplied by essential businesses. So you may be open, but all your components are not viewed as essential. So they're all closed. So you can't make anything. And we are deemed non-essential. So we have to be and follow the laws of that country, and we are closed at the moment, which leads to we have a steady production of restocks and new releases. And of course, if you aren't able to make either of those, eventually you have to say, right, the restocks are going to be late. And that's where we're at the moment. But it is a hiccup. It just means that our flow of containers that would be on the water have moved through, and there isn't anything else going in the pipeline. So if they were to switch us on tomorrow, let's say, it would take us about a week and a half to get a container out with some stock on it. But then it's 6.5 weeks before it would get into my warehouse in America, and about 5.5 weeks into the UK one. So we've got this 2-month-ish period that we hope will start any moment, but we've still got to go through. And it only seemed fair to let all the gamers know, yeah, the Romanians are going to be a bit late, and I hope it's going to be in 8 to 10 weeks, but I don't know. I would prefer it to be shorter rather than later, but at the moment it's just a little bit of a hiccup. Let's hope that they bang on with the vaccines, which they have been doing a very good job. I mean, our factory is now at 93% vaccinated, so we are ready to go the second they say we can start again. And the Malaysian government has definitely been pushing, get yourself vaccinated, do the social distancing. And I don't know if you go to any of these worldometers for COVID or anything like that, their spike has started to do this, but they want it to be a bit lower and go from there. So they relaxed personal restrictions Wednesday, I think it was, of last week, maybe Thursday. So that's a step in the right direction. Let's hope it's not too long, and then we can get some releases being made again. And the Romanian releases are all made. They're all there. They just didn't get on a ship in time before they closed it down, which is a real shame.
Oh, so the container's ready. It's ready to go. It's just didn't make the water.
Yeah, and if you were to walk through our warehouse, you would see thousands of pieces of stock. Now, the worst thing is, when I was talking to Iron Tom, I knew for a fact that we'd just run out of the clock tower because somebody in mail order bought the last one, and I just happened to pick the order and take it over there and ask the warehouse manager, like, where's the rest of the clock towers? And he went, no, we're out. So there are ones like that, and it does vary on warehouses. So, for example, the UK does not have any GEAB 20 armies for the Germans at the moment. We've got a few left. So that sort of thing, there will be some stock that runs out in the meantime, but everything like that will get made again, which leads on to the other question of, well, why have you put a few of the codes off sale? And that is purely to get us the ability to restock quickly. So what we've decided is to keep all the good, not good, that's the wrong word, the most current best-selling lines. We will give the forecast to KL to say, I want all of these back in stock immediately. And then we will start on the less popular, more obscure codes that we have. And mid-war isn't where our focus is right now. So it seemed to be easy to go, no, we'll just pull mid-war for a while. They'll all come back in some description or other, unless they get made discontinued. One of the things we could do, and this is more for shops than anything, is use this opportunity that when you've got 3 versions of the 105 artillery for the Germans, say, you now make them into one box. So the shelf space can be 1 item, not 3. So we'll do little bits like that as well to make it easier for stores to be carrying a depth of stock, but by minimal amount of codes, because that's their bread and butter, is to not carry masses of inventory that sells slightly at a slower turn rate than if you could make that turn rate accelerate type thing.
All right, that makes sense. So it's a little bit inside baseball probably than some people wanted to hear, but I find it interesting. Let's see here. Have you seen Hamilton? I know this is.
I have not. No.
Oh, okay. So it's a musical. I highly recommend it. But one of the things is that Aaron Burr, he has a song about where the room where it happens. Okay, because he wants to be part of the government making the decisions, and the song is "The Room Where It Happens," right? And because that's kind of what happens is they have a meeting and said this is what we're going to do, and then they go and push it to, and then that's how stuff gets done. And there's a lot of meetings that I've had where I'm about to go into the room and I'm like, I'm going to be in the room where it happens. And so, I just go on in there. It's just something I do because I know we're going to make a decision about something for the business. And what you're doing is you're kind of bringing us into the room where it happens and how you need to make a choice and a decision about a choice about how to run the business best with the limited resources that you have. Now you have a lot of resources, but it's limited still. Even us with I work for an auto manufacturer. We have a limit on how many cars we can produce. So what kind of cars are they? And that stuff gets, that schedule gets changed. Not all the time, but it changes with the business climate. I understand what you're going through. Some people who, they're like, well, where the hell, I don't know, like these little Italian tanks, these scout tanks. You can't find them anywhere. But I want to buy another set.
Yes.
But hey, you know what? I'm going to wait, and it's just the way it goes. Because I know that no one else is going to get them. So, just make more. Well, that's the thing about making more. If you're making something, you're not making something else. And so you have to be very selective about what you're doing. And I fully understand. You're going to be focusing on late war, the new stuff, getting that out, because that's the exciting thing right now. And then circle back when things start to stabilize. Maybe I'm just summing up what you're saying.
No, you're absolutely right. And the comment to just make more is, absolutely. I wish they would let us. And when they do, we will run as many hours as we possibly can to make as much as we can as quickly as we can. And I know it's all words until we start doing it, but it would be interesting to know as well, if anybody's got any better ideas, please share them. Because, it's not even a case of, don't make it in Malaysia then. And go, what, we've not had lockdowns anywhere else then?
Yeah.
We just happen to have chosen one at the moment that's been there. But when we were all locked down, Malaysia wasn't. So we were quite happy to be, we're in the right place. And now we're in the wrong place for a period of time, only a short period of time. And again, is one of those things is I know I'll be out of stocks, and there'll definitely be some people who could easily find, oh, but I wanted. And you go, yep, and I can show you. And what about all of this then? There are hundreds of things that you could be buying right now. And again, like I said on other podcasts, if you really want to help, go to your local store and buy what they've got on the shelf. It's the time to actually go, you know what, as I said before to Tom, is those old T-34s that I've got from many, many years ago with bent barrels and broken barrels and that sort of thing is, maybe now's the time where I should just go out and go, you know what, I'll buy 10 more and I'll make a whole new unit, because the stores need your help as well. And I think that's very important, is we can all be, oh, well, if only you had, or you could be proactive and say, actually, I could do with 5 more Tigers. I could do with, and it's mostly, they've got it on the shelf. That will help keep your store open. And of course, then when they restock from us, it helps us open as well. So, you know, I know it's very preachy, but if you really want to help, go and buy something from your store that they have in stock.
Yeah, support your local game store, guys, because that's the place you meet. Let's see. Pete's got an interesting question. How can I find out what is available? And I want to make a force, any force, but I don't want to make sure that the stuff is available.
That is a good question, and one that we are investigating right now on redoing our website. That is not going to be an overnight thing. And John Paul and Pete are both very keen for a live inventory, because ours does not do that. It doesn't give you any warning that it's out of stock or anything like that, but we are working on it. The one I would say, Pete, is actually go to your store and use your eyes. If they've got it in stock, you can buy it right now for your force. And I know that's a bit of a flippant answer, and it's not meant to be cheeky in that way, but there is something to be said for the tactileness of being able to pick it up off a shelf and you know it's yours then.
Yeah, because I'm working on some Italians, trying to put some Italians together, and there's a couple of things that, you know, the game store had it. I picked it up, and there's some things I'm like, oh, I want that, but not here. I got to find someplace else. You know, because I support my local game store first. And but by the way, a live inventory site. Not to sound snarky or anything, but you know, hey, you know, welcome to the 21st century.
Yeah. I still don't think we're there yet, though. I still think we're in a bit of the 19th century. You know, steam and clogs and things.
Yeah, because I move more goods than you guys do in like maybe in a week than you do in a year. And I know exactly where everything is at in my warehouse at any given time. You know
where everything's at.
Huh?
I know where everything's at. It's all in the warehouse.
It's in the warehouse.
Yes. Than that. It's somewhere back there.
Yeah. No, mine is the exact number by location in a footprint. You know.
Yeah. I wish. Yes, ours is literally. Chris, do you know where this is? And if he says no, that's it. We're screwed.
Yeah. Well, then again, I'm making, you know, $30,000 cars and such. But anyhow, that's beside the point. So, all right. I think we hit the Malaysia thing. It's just basically, it's when things relax there, you're looking at a 6-week thing to prime the pump. Because you have to get it on the water and then ship across. And
now we will also investigate air shipments. The problem with that is, of course, they are one of the industries that, especially international, are very limited at the moment. So one of the reasons why things are so problematic is actually a shortage of containers, because the containers are taking longer. There are more of them being used because more freight is going by sea than ever before, because the airlines aren't taking it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So someone will come along and go, right, I would normally fly my X, Y, or Z. I'm now going to put it in there, which uses another container. Then the containers take longer, so there are less of them to get, type thing. Because, you know, shipments used to be 4.5 weeks to England, 5.5 to here. You add 2 weeks shipping on. I mean, even that silly Suez thing with the enormous ship blocking it, that caused such horrendous delays that there's a knock-on effect that is still happening now. I mean, I didn't know it, that they've only actually freed that ship a little while ago because they had to pay for the damages, and they impounded the ship until it was agreed on how much. So you look at that sort of thing and you go, oh, okay. And just think of it as, while it's not going to cause it in entirety, but all of those containers couldn't be used again. And normally, you know, we are given a 2-hour window with a container comes in. A 40-footer comes in, we've got 2 hours to unload it, because that thing has to go to its next location to be loaded in 2 hours, ready for the next ship. Any delays means that ships get missed. So that's one of the reasons that, you know, things are just taking a little bit longer at the moment. But we will look at other options if we can.
Now, you hear about Union Pacific, how they were not taking any more freight?
I had not heard that, no.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago. They were going to do they were going to stop because they couldn't process what they had already, because they have manpower issues.
Yep.
And they can't clear the yards in Chicago quick enough. And what was happening was the trains were just backing up between here and Los Angeles, and they're like, "Oh, hold on, we got to stop." So that meant, if you go back through the logistics, the logistics line, that means no trains, nothing coming out of the port, nothing going into the port.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, just everything, all the ships are sitting outside of Seattle and Los Angeles, and they can't process them.
Yep.
So we have a business term for it. We call it a cluster.
It's interesting, if anybody is got a spare 10 minutes, is go on the ship tracker sites and put in ports and just see all the little colored triangles which denote the ships, and you will see them in this sort of holding pattern, because they're waiting for the crane docks to open up before they can come in to unload, and then just pan out to see the other ships coming in, because you'll see them long lines all coming in, and you're just going, and you just know that this pile is not going to clear before these get there, and it just gets worse. However,
Right.
I still think there is light at the end of the tunnel. I think it's one of those that you just go, yep, and things will start moving more rapidly as we cope with this.
Yeah, because people who are going to come through the other end are figuring out how to adapt.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. How we can do it more with less, blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
Yeah.
No need to go into the whole adaptability, business survivability.
Yeah, as you said, that the room where the decisions are made is, we also have, already talking about what if. And we haven't decided on anything yet, but there is the capabilities that you go, okay, well, move this to here and produce it somewhere else. do this over there, look at this, look at third parties. There are a load of other ways of doing things that we will just, adapt and overcome.
Yeah. So for all those who asked, there you go. You got a lot inside baseball. And when it comes down to it, it all comes down to logistics.
And don't panic. This is just, as I say, it's a temporary hiatus, and we will definitely come out of it the other side. I mean, I can't divulge too much in there, but there is no way that I'm looking at the food line or anything like that. This is just, in many ways, it is still business as normal with the stock that we have. I just wish that we had a few more new releases, because they're the easy sell for us.
Well, if I'm through with what we had to discuss. So if anyone's on here still that wants to ask John a question that we haven't touched already, we'll go through that. But no, I'll just go through. John, thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
It was a great discussion. It went by quick. I was trying to make it an hour, but we ended up at an hour 20.
Yep.
I have some stuff that I'm going to go with the Battle Rankings Army here about stuff that we're going to be doing in the next season.
Sorry.
No, it wouldn't be a show without the feedback. Here's a question. Whoops, not that one. This one. Can you tell us anything about the Warsaw Pack new T70Ss?
I'm afraid not. I don't know that sort of information. Also, it is a bit of an open-ended question, as in it's a tank. I don't think that's quite what you're looking for as the answer. But no, I'm really sorry. I can't actually say this, and it's not a case of I know something that I could tell you. I really don't know anything that I could tell you on that one at the moment. And again, a little bit more specific might help, as in if you want to know a release date or something like that. Even then, I would have to say I don't know on that particular item.
Robert's in here. He is saying, if you want to contact a store on your behalf, just email us at ussales@battlefront.co.nz. Or is that USS Ales? No, I'm just kidding. It's US Sales. And then Battlefront will be monitoring that, and then get a hold of you.
And just so people know, Rob Villeneuve is the man who runs the sales side of the USA office. So he's very capable, knows exactly what he's doing, and I have to say that because he's much bigger than me and would break me in half.
I don't know. He seems like a gentle man.
A gentle giant, yes.
No, it's the well, I think I know the answer on this one. Any work on early war?
Yes, there is. However, nothing that is to a conclusion yet. But we haven't forgotten about early war. We still like it. I think I might be wrong here, but I think it's one of Phil's favorite periods. So, we will always be working on it in some there, and it will just come round when our schedule deems it so, type thing. But yeah, it's still going there. And then again, you are going to get people going, what about the Japanese? What about et cetera, et cetera? And you go, yep, we are continually working on things like that, but not everything works to our satisfaction and sometimes it's best to put it on the shelf type thing and come back to it because there's something that doesn't fit there. But I don't work in the studio. I'm not the person who makes those cogs go round. It's not my forte at all.
Okay. So that looks like there. So if everyone, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say goodbye to John. If everyone wants to hold on, because I am going to reveal this. All right, I got your attention, John. Like, what is this?
Yes,
I will tell you. So back in December, I saw the Bevington Tank Museum. There in England.
Yep.
They were doing the equivalent of a GoFundMe to reprint the training manual for the Panther.
Wow.
All right. So I got into it. And the box, I'm going to open up the box. So there it is. I got my little certificate that it's an original first copy of the reprint. I am number 653 out of 1100. And there's the book. Now, there's something interesting about this book. And let me tell you what it is. First of all, this is the training book that they did, and they translated it into English and then used the original artwork. All right.
Oh, wow.
So, right. So if you wanted to know how to start a Panther, it's in here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Then they also have the handouts that they would give them. There's a map of the tank itself, a few other things. And on the back end, okay, they did hit location charts for various. This one's the Western Front, about different hit locations that you could put your Panther tank, this way, onto different things. And the other one is Russian equipment on this side that pulls out.
Wow, that's really cool.
But here's the creme of the creme. To have them remember, it's written in rhyme.
That's
and
cool.
So they converted it into English into rhyme. And so it's pretty cool. Oh,
do you want Panzer Ghost to read one?
Yeah, actually. By the way, when they printed the book, I just turned right to it. My name is right there.
That's
as an original contributor. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Now the thing was, I did this in December, and then I forgot about it. And then like 4 weeks ago, I got an email. Hey, the books are done printing. And I'm like, book? What? Oh yeah! And all of a sudden, it's shipping. And all of a sudden, DHL is telling me that it's on its way, and it took 2 weeks to get here, of course, because it came overseas. And here it is. It was after the last. So, John, I don't know. I'm sure you watch my show religiously, beginning to end.
Right.
So the thing is, we have a character on the show called Panzer Ghost. It haunts the studio, right? And it helps.
Hello.
Yeah. And there it is, just like that. And so what we're going to do?
I am not an it.
Well, there is Panzer Ghost. Okay. So what I'm going to do to the show is go through this book, and I'm going to call it Poetry Corner with Panzer Ghost. And Panzer, what you do this top one here?
Top one there.
Yeah, just by random. And Panzer Ghost is going to read a section of poetry from the Panther training manual. Take it away.
There's no doubt you'll draw a blank when in battle on the right flank. In a sword fight, pick up an old blade, but later your luck changes grade. Go for it up front, take a chance. Genteel and posh, a country dance. Later a lady is after you. From behind she did pursue. Today flirtation comes from the side. In the motor, this can be done with pride. It's crucial that you recognize at this moment there is a prize. I have no idea. What this is about.
It's talking about when the vehicles move, your target's moving across, how to lead it.
Is that what that's about?
Yes.
I never understood this one when I had to read this silly thing.
Yeah. Would you get a C on the test? Yeah. So we're gonna do a new.
I just had the point and shoot.
Point and shoot. So we're gonna do Poetry Corner with Panzer Ghost every week, reading an excerpt out of this book. So anyway, those are the things that we got going on because we're
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah, we're a different show. we talk about tournaments and then we do silly things that support the hobby. So
that's cool. That's good.
Yeah, but so there's that, and also remember, Anne's book.
Shameless plug.
So got the plug, and it's not a shameless plug. I mean, it took her a while to write this, and she's
100,000 words, man.
How many?
100,000 words.
100,000 words, and then how many words?
Which is short compared to Dune.
Yeah, true. How many words in the next?
That's going to be about 100,000.
Another 100,000, and then it's a trilogy. She's got and if you're going to be at DragonCon, Anne will be at DragonCon signing copies of the book with her publisher. So, sorry, it's the Warrior of Kazan. This is book 1. The how do you say their names again?
Nephilim Corruption.
Nephilim Corruption, and it's original artwork.
I didn't title it, guys. Just so you know.
Well, and
my publisher gave me the title, so
yeah, it's fine. It's pretty good. I was flipping through it, and I'm like, "What? Where's the pictures?"
No.
It's all words.
Words, and more words.
Robert's asking. He says it's biblical. It is. But
I'll provide a link if you guys want.
And it's biblical, but it's not a in-your-face religion thing. If that makes sense. It's based in all that, and it's true to that as a foundation. It's true to it, but it's not a funny Christian thing or something like that. It's just.
Well, my publisher is he's published. They are promoting it as Christian space opera, but I think anybody likes it. It's not like in your face.
It's not in your face. So and just posted the link to the book. Nephilim are biblical characters. That is correct, and is true to the origin. I don't know
about true to them. I did my own thing with them, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun, dude. It's just fun. Big badass guy with sword.
There you go. Anyway, I think we're going to be doing that. Oh yeah, another thing we're going to be doing is I'm going to get SMEs, special. They're basically subject matter experts, other people who know how to play the game. And we're going to go over, they're going to pick a mission and talk about best ways to attack and defend in that mission. So I put a feeler out for people that have been on the show before saying, hey, pick a mission and say, if I'm defending, this is what I like to do, and this is why, or something to look for. And if you're attacking, what's the things to look forward to attack. Because I was asked about I was asked about, hey, how can you help me with my missions? Because I always seem to lose up on setup, the start of the mission, and a lot of people do. They lose on setup. Actually, sometimes they lose based on the choice of stuff they're bringing, but sometimes they just lose because they didn't set up right and they just got ran over. Which, by the way, makes not a fun game for you. And one last question, and we'll let you go, John. Are you planning to bring the Ranger program back?
Not in the same format, but we are always interested in people who would like to do stuff. Again, contact the USA sales at battlefront.co.nz. Rob will get back to you, and we have a couple of active cells like that help stores promote. So yes and no is the case. It's almost like a case-by-case scenario situation.
Okay.
But yeah, the more hobby champions out there are, the better.
That is true. Support your local game store, ma'am. Say that a couple times, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's true, and go from there. Right. So I take it on that one.
Yep.
I will love you and leave you until you invite me back.
No problem, John. And you're welcome back anytime. You want to, because we do this every Wednesday. If you need to come on, you want to announce something or something like that, I'm more than happy to be the guy to break the news to everyone.
You have an open invitation.
You have an open invitation.
Very much.
Just say, hey, wait, I want to be there.
Yeah.
I got something to say.
And again, as we hear any news with KL, we will definitely have it posted up and let people know as well. But and again, Joe, you and I talk quite often, so if anything does come up that you need an answer on, just drop me a line, and I will do my best to get you an answer.
Yeah, I know that. Thanks. But the thing is that the audience doesn't know that, so
Yeah.
Just we want to give the illusion of that we work together, which we do. So
yeah. So just bombard him with questions, guys, and then make him work for it.
Yeah. All right, John. You have a good one.
Thank you very much, and thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. And for everyone else, I'm going to go over the schedule. I'm going to go over the schedule for the next coming weeks, and then we'll call it a day. So let me bring this up. So on the 14th, August 14th, we got 3 things going on. Goldmine Games, Sage's Shop in West Lafayette, which is a new entry, really, and Hard Knocks Games, which is actually another new entry. Goldmine is doing Team Yankee 105. They're in Texas, by the way. Sage's Shop, West Lafayette, Indiana. I should put the I in there. They're doing a Mid-War 95, 3 rounds. And then Hard Knocks, which just came out, Elizabethtown, Kentucky, they're doing a Late War 105, 3 rounds. And by the way, one thing about Hard Knocks is they always try to do red-blue. NashCon, which is coming up the following weekend. So Friday, they're doing Late War 105. That's the one that's sold out. The Saturday, the Mid-War, which is a de-escalation. That's an Eastern Front only, and that's 3 rounds. There's room there still. So if you want to come out to NashCon and you want to do some mid-war action, that's the way to go. Matter of fact, that's why I'm painting some Italian tanks. Got that going. And then also the 21st, that Saturday, you got Flames of War on the USS Hornet in Albadena, California. And that's Late War 105, 3 rounds. The 28th, the Vault in Delaware. Late War 105, 3 rounds. And then back to the East Coast on September 4th, you have the longest day. Now, by the way, I heard the guys talk about this. It's at the Hilton Los Angeles Airport. So basically, you can fly into LAX, go to the airport, do this whole thing, and then fly out. It is 8 rounds, and the basically play up to 8 rounds. Whoever gets the best score out of just playing, up to 8 rounds, that's the winner. So it's kind of Iron Man in the sense of, just, kind of a Le Mans of tournaments. It's late war 77. So I think it's 77 years from something. I don't know if it's Stalingrad or something like that. I have to take a look. Then what we were talking about earlier, we have GenCon on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. So that Thursday, mid-war 100, all these are all 3 rounds. On the 17th, which is a Friday, Team Yankee 100, 3 rounds. I'll be TOing that. And on the September 18th, also that Saturday, Late War 100 rounds. That one is actually sold out, but you can always, if you come for something else, you can always see if in the morning, if someone is a no-show and try to get in with some generics. If not, you have the whole day to play. You'll find a game of something somewhere. Then this is a new one to the schedule on the 18th also. It's a game on Kansas City, 2021. D-Day, the longest day. Oh, well, when did they do that back in... No, all right. Anyway, Patrick, I'm wondering why they just didn't do that. Oh, because in June. Oh, because they didn't have the long holiday. Okay, I got it. I sometimes a little dense. Guy have to hit me with a clue by 4. Anyway, game on in Kansas City. This is new. This is going to be in Overland Park, Kansas City. It's a con. Small con that's kind of running in parallel with GenCon, but in Kansas City. They're doing Late War 105. And here we go. So the end of the season, you're looking at Huracan, 24th, 25th. I'm saying if you're on the cusp, you might want to go. It is Florida, so in September, it should be decent weather. And they're doing the Team Yankee 100 and a Late War 100. So, and I know they have room. So, if you're on that cusp, you might want to go. Even if you're on the cusp, you might want to go anyway. Help the guys out. October 1st and 2nd is Advance the Colors. It looks like there is going to be something. I see some chatter for the people, the groups in Ohio. They're carving up responsibilities right now. Who's going to do the Team Yankee? Who's going to do the Flames of War? And they're figuring out what. So I'm seeing the thread go back and forth. So I know there will be something. And then the 22nd, 23rd is CincyCon. On the 22nd, they're doing a Team Yankee. And on 23rd, they're doing Flames Late War 105. Then, of course, what we've been talking about at the beginning of the show, November 11th is Team Yankee 110. And then the 12th and 13th is Nationals, Late War 100, 6 rounds. I am planning to be there, and so should you. Then MillenniaCon, which is the 14th, which I believe is a Sunday. It's Round Rock, Texas. They're doing an escalation, 60, 80, 100, Late War. And then barely fitting on the sheet here, December 5th is already planned as Skoda Fest. It's in Taylors, South Carolina. It is their 10th anniversary of this pretty good size tournament that they're doing. I believe it's at Joe Skoda, who is a sensei, Boutier sensei. And he's a sensei, and he has a dojo, and he turns the dojo into a place where they run a tournament. They did it last year. It's also going to be I talked him into do Toys for Tots at the same time, so I know he's going to be doing that, and he's going to be doing a Toys for Tots thing at the same time. I haven't seen what they're going to do yet, so it's to be announced. But hey, save the date. It's December 5th. There you go. The first Toys for Tots thing announced. Everybody else, remember, we'll be doing. I'm bringing the big screen up. Remember, we're going to be doing Poetry Corner with Panzer Ghost, and of course the shameless plug for Anne's book, the Nephrine. It's a pretty good read. So help us out. We get a little something out of it. By the way, I was like, to get on the New York Times bestseller list.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. But but the thing is, to get on it, it's only like if you move 100,000 units.
Oh, is that all?
That it? Yeah. To me, 100,000. I'm like, well, geez, doesn't sound like much, but I guess in the publishing industry, it's a lot. Let's do. What did we learn today? Because there's a lot that we learned. Anne, did you learn anything today? It's coming.
Well, they can't get the stuff off the containers on the ships from New Zealand or from Malaysia.
Right. Yeah. There's a supply chain issue of moving goods. Okay. So you learned that.
I did.
Patrick learned what I learned today. Panzer Ghost needs to study the Panther manual a bit more.
But that wasn't the best tank that I got.
Yes. You basically wrote on the outside, right?
I wrote on the outside.
Yes. Also, if there's anyone learn anything else, why don't you go ahead and just post it on up. Eric learned he's probably not going to see the Plastic King Tiger this year. Probably not, because if you put the map together, if they opened up today, you're looking at 6 weeks before it hits the warehouse in US, and then you have to distribute it. So say 2 months right there. So September, October, and that's the Romanians. Then if you start doing the math from there, you are looking at probably next year for that kind of stuff. So that's the way it's going to go. John Meyer learned that we can get signed copies of the book. Wait a minute. Can we get signed copies if we can't go to Dragon Con? Can they buy copies? Oh.
Well, I probably might have copies with me. If you want, I can sign them at GenCon, but it'd be like I'd come to the gaming tables.
Oh, there you go. Anne will make a presence at GenCon, and if you want to buy a copy, and Anne will sign it there for you. Yeah.
Or if they want, just email Joe and we'll figure something out.
There you go. We'll figure something out. There's I think Patrick meant there's something to look forward to in 2022. Yeah, John's right. We're probably not going to see much of this year, realistically, with shopping and ramping up. There he goes. He corrected it. Well, anyway, Anne, do you want to play us out?
Sure.
And we'll just play what we came in with. By the way, I knew it was a special, and so? that's why we did this. And then we're back. That's right, baby. We're back doing the show. We're going to go pretty much every week until Christmas at least. Down, down, down.
All right.
Yeah. I'm just going to sing the first verse. I'm back! Back in, yeah, back in the cell again. Anyway, back. Yeah.
Right.
Back in the saddle again, folks. Anyway, we're gonna go from there. Everyone, we'll see you next week. Have a good and healthy one. If you're going to go play games, have a good time. There's a couple tournaments this weekend, and Anne's birthday, and we'll let you know how Anne's birthday went. So happy birthday, Anne.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to everyone later.